Are you ready, kids?
I, Mr. Clix.
Oh! Mr. Clix is brought to you by Lucky Dice Cafe out of Huntsville, Alabama, home of the RSC. No matter if you're in the United States or around the world, Lucky Dice Cafe has the winning role for your gaming needs. You can visit them at LuckyDiceCafe.com or on their Facebook page using the link found in the description of this video. Alright guys, today we are doing a set review of Earth X featuring Calder Ness from Dial H for Heroclix fame. So say hi to everybody, Calder.
Howdy, howdy, let's get rowdy.
There we go. Alright, so you are from Dial H from Heroclix, which is, I understand, a podcast. So tell us a little bit about that before we get into this set review for like the 5 or 6 people who might not know you.
Absolutely, yeah, because there are dozens of people that listen to our podcast. Dial H for Heroclix, we are a weekly, very consistent Heroclix podcast. We have Chris, who's my co-host. He talks very casual. He loves figures, loves characters about the game. I talk really casual as well, but I'll talk more about the meta. So I actually would say, you hear all those, oh, for the casual and for the hardcore, but we really are a really good mix of casual, hardcore, meta-playing podcasts, which is amazing. You can find us on iTunes. We're also on Podbean. So you can listen to us at your computer. You can download the podcast, take it wherever you go. We try to keep them between an hour and 20 minutes. So, you know, quick, good podcast. I'd say we are the one.
Yep.
Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and all sorts of other stuff, by the way.
Very awesome. And you guys have a Patreon too, right?
We do have a Patreon. Yep, absolutely. You can go ahead and jump on there. We'll give you a special title in the show, and you'll be in all of our show notes. Plus, we have all sorts of good rewards for you. So absolutely, if you want to jump on that, I would appreciate the support.
Yep. Whoop, whoop. I'm a Dial H Patreon patron, so there we are with that. All right, so this is the set review where, for those of you who have never seen it before, I used to call this Zero Hero, which seems kind of cool, but people don't understand what it was. So basically, it's just quick thumbs up, quick thumbs down. You can give a reason or you don't. It doesn't really matter. People are going to get mad anyway. We are at HC Realms. Currently, they are missing one figure and don't have any of the objects up, but that's okay because Calder and me just know everything, and we already know what those objects do, so we'll be able to break it down for you.
Yep.
All right, so up first is Spider-Woman. In 2019, I'm not going to be too happy to pay 50 points for that. Like, dual target in cap's not bad, but I got to give this one a pass, a pretty hard pass.
Pass. Pretty hard, really hard pass for me.
Yeah. Okay, we'll get that out of the way. All right, next up we have Venom, which is the 1B of Spider-Girl. 70 points, traded plasticity, shape change, auto breakaway, a special in cap. I don't know that I mean, she's not bad, don't get me wrong. But I don't know that I'm burning my 1 prime per team on this one for 70 points, especially considering the other primes that are in this set.
You know, if you're Earth X theme team and you're being really thematic with it and you want to be like, there's a point in the comic where Venom was on whatever side or whatever, absolutely, go for it. And if you're a Spider-Man, I personally, outside of Earth X, I'm probably not going to play this character. That's just me.
Yeah, it's just not. It's not the best. It doesn't even feel like really Prime. It feels just like a regular 70-point figure.
I agree. Yeah, for Prime, it's nothing special.
Yeah. Okay. So next up, we have number 2 in the set, Silver Sable. 50 points gets you a leadership that goes on any named theme team. Sidestep. Energy Explosion plus the Spider-Man team ability. For 50 points, I like her a lot. She grants a lot of teams that needed a leadership, and still allows them theme. And if they have a good team ability for her to copy, like X-Men or Hydra or something like that, she can do that.
You know, words cannot describe how much I really like this Silver Sable. She had some like okay ones in the old Deadpool set, and so that kind of got me interested in the character. But a figure that can go on literally any team I want it to be, any named keyword, I love it. I love it so much. For 50 points, even without that whole get to be on a keyword thing, she's a really solid 50 points. You know, she can do Almost on every click she can do 3 damage, except for that little second click there. But either way, she's awesome. I really like her. I think we're gonna see her on a lot of casual teams. Maybe she'll even show up in the meta. I don't know. But I just the ability to choose a name keyword is like huge for me, and I love it. I love it a lot.
Yeah, and you know what? I didn't like the Mastermind at first until I realized how many token spawning figures there are in this set, and then I was like, Mastermind's okay.
Ooh. There's a lot. Oh,
yeah.
There's so many. Oh my god. Yeah, all the enforcers.
Yep.
And then Iron Man, all the other ones. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. There's going to be so much editing.
You shouldn't don't let it load for Lizard. Lizard's terrible. Let's just skip
That is
Lizard.
a lie. That is a lie. Lizard is good. We're at our first disagreement, ladies and gentlemen. Okay.
Oh, no.
50 points for Sinister Syndicate. If you have what I can't even read right now. You triggered me is what happened. Okay, so he has stealth if you have 3 or more figures on your team. Improved movement ignores hindering, but only if your force has 5 or more characters. Modify all combat values -1 or +1 if you have exactly 6. Odd how 50 points breaks down to exactly 6 figures on your team. And then he also has free if Lizard is on an even click number and has no action tokens, heal him 1 click. Come on now. What do you want? It's 50 points for what's probably going to be a 9 movement with charge, 11 attack blades, 18 defense with indom and toughness, and 3 damage, and then he heals on every other click.
If he had that 11 attack top dial, I'd be singing a different tune. But then he's got leap climb, the bottom half. He's not doing much once he gets hit at all. I've seen him cause a bit of a ruckus in battle royales, but this Lizard doesn't really impress me. I'm sorry.
I don't know.
I hate to say it, but
it's 50 points for 6
really
clicks.
hard to get him. It's okay. You're right. It's 50 points, 6 clicks. You're not wrong. But I have such a hard time.
I could be wrong. Seriously. It's okay.
I'm sorry.
And this is the part of the video where if we say it's bad and you like it, still play it. This is because it's
absolutely. Yeah, no.
Yeah,
that's true. I've been wrong many times.
So yeah, okay. So we'll agree to disagree. Calder doesn't like it. I like it. I don't think it's meta or anything, but I think it's good enough to make his way into most games. So next up we have Morbius. He's what they used to call a wild dial. Do they even call it a wild dial anymore?
I think it's still a wild dial or vampire dial, whatever you want to call it.
So basically, he starts off for 60 points. He starts off at click 3. And then if you manage to heal him up, he does get pretty good stats. He gets charge, sidestep, and stealth. I just don't like the 60 points for no reducers, although the outwit's kind of handy. I don't know. It's kind of a pass for me. I'm not a fan of wild dials just in general.
It's a big one because he's not even high risk, high reward. He's like high risk with like mediocre reward, with just some better stats, I suppose. And if you want to play him, I've one-shot him so many times. It's not funny, guys. You got to play him smart. You got to use that stealth. You got to copy a really good team ability. You got to outwit. This guy, he takes a lot of more brain power that he should on your team to make sure he stays alive to even get 1 or 2 hits off. I mean, if you can heal up twice, then by all means, oh wow, he really is worth it. He's got 12 attack, 4 damage, 19 defense. Even if it's only toughness, 19 defense, 19 defense. But he's tough. He's tough because it's going to be hard to not die right away.
Yeah,
it is.
If he had hypersonic on that trait or on that special, I think I'd like him more. But just having charge,
if he had just charge. Even then, if it was instead of sidestep, even if he had charge flurry, I would say something else because then he can charge flurry for 6 damage, second click, or 11. Really heal him.
Yeah. Okay.
Charge flurry with a 12. Oh yes, absolutely.
Yep.
With Sonic, either one really, but this. Ooh, I don't know about.
Okay, so Rhino is 50 points, Sinister Syndicate team ability, 8 movement. With charge, 10 attack, 17 defense, invincible, 3 damage. Has that Sinister 6 United trait, and has another trait that generates knockback. I think he's the invincible makes him a serviceable meat shield, but I don't think he's great.
I think kind of same thing maybe as Lizard. If you're playing a Sinister Syndicate team, go nuts. He's a solid version of the Rhino, and that's about it.
Right, yeah, I mean, it's not... oh, and he ignores and destroys blocking terrain, which I've seen situations where that's pretty important. That was worth covering.
Right.
But yeah, if you're Sinister
Seen him pull off some shield and BR.
Yeah. If you think you're gonna have exactly 6 characters, I could see running them. But for 50 points for a 10 attack, there's better places for 50 points with better stats nowadays. All right. Next up, we have Sandman. He is 50 points. Spider-Man team ability, has Avengers and Sinister Syndicate keywords, has the Sinister 6 United and Shifting Sands traits. Shifting Sands is free if Sandman has no action tokens. Choose a standard power printed on this card. If he can't use it already, he can use standard power until your next turn. I feel like this is probably the better one out of the easy to get Sinister Syndicates, because you can put him on an Avengers team, and basically he can be a harasser, and it's easy to get 6 characters when you have 10-point Giant Girl.
Yeah,
but
very true.
You know, depending on what you're doing with your no action tokens, you know, you could get you know, you got your choices: shape change, charge. Yeah, there's some useful powers there. I like him better than a lot of figures. I give him a thumbs up for 50 points. Plus, he has Indom.
I like him a lot. Like, I really do. That's not just because Sandman's like my favorite Spider-Man villain, but if that free was when he had no actions, if that was just whenever that he could do it, I would say like 5 stars by and large. Like, I wouldn't say he'd see competitive play, but I would put him on a lot of teams. But the fact that you only do it when he doesn't have a token, you got to carry him up, got to worry about all this stuff. I mean, top dial. Let's say you carry him, or maybe he takes a token, but for your next turn, he's gonna have 2% of shape change, and I would assume you would choose invulnerability. Like, he's pretty beefy top dial. He's got some good defense, you know. And if you want, at certain times, I can't. The worst part is I can't even say at any point he can have blank, because it's only at certain times for one attack he can have flurry or charge or whatever. It's a really cool gimmick. It's nerfed. I wouldn't say nerfed, but like balanced in its own way for 50 points. So I really think this is a fun Sandman for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's fun. It's I don't know. He's okay. All right. So next up we have Tinker. He's 30 points. Sinister Syndicate, Masters of Evil Scientist, and Power Enhancement. Power, generate a standard light object. If we were gonna have 2 more years of overdrive, I'd say this guy's pretty good, because you always have a target to generate that overdrive token. But right now I'm having trouble thinking of too many teams that I really want that light object on, and I don't know, 30 points seems like a lot for enhancement or empower right now. So what do you think?
The only thing I've seen him used successfully on is in a battle royale. Someone had King Britain, which is already a great pull, and they chose of their own free will. I don't know what else in the booster, but they chose Tinkerer. And he had King Britain carry, you know, Tinker, so he can charge, and he can power. He can only have 1 object per force. So using him to generate objects is great. So I think in battle royales where you can only use 1 Tinker is awesome. I think that's really cool. I think it's an awesome ability for him to use.
Yeah.
But anywhere else, it doesn't seem that helpful unless you have a really super strength heavy team. You want everybody to be holding something. But I think he has his little niche utility, and I think that's cool. So, you know.
Yeah, and I don't know, is this the first Tinker we've gotten? This is the first one I can remember. I feel like we might have had one before, but I don't know.
I think this is our forgot one before.
All right, next up we have Volturion. I like him just because he's a 20-point carry figure. He can carry 10 figures. It's basically Sinister Syndicate and Magia Kite Man. That's all it is. There's nothing special here, but it's good as a transporter.
Carry. You said it all. Like, that's all I got to say. It's 20-point carry.
Yeah. All right.
That's it. That's all I got.
Yeah. Yeah.
It'd be great if you had some range.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Next up is Police Sergeant. 30 points, PD team ability, charge, in cap, empower. Adjacent opposing characters have breakaway -1. He's only got a 17 defense, so you really don't want to be adjacent to anybody anyway. This is pretty much a hard pass for me. This
Right.
is probably the worst police generic I've seen in a while.
It's not good. I wish he was better. You know, Syrian had range with his in cap. I wish this police sergeant had sidestep instead of charge with his in cap, since he has 4 range.
Yep.
So it's, you know, he's a very close combat orientated policeman. Like, I guess Luke Cage is in this, so fair enough. But no, he's not great.
Yeah.
Pass for me.
All right. Next one we have is number 10, the Hydra. This is only 20 points. Sidestep, super strength, willpower, exploit weakness, a unique modifier, friendly characters within 6 squares with the Hydra keyword, modify attack +1, making a close attack. I actually like these considering how low points they are, and I know like we're trying to judge each figure on their own merit, but I can't get over how well basically all these Hydra guys work with Chase Hydra Cap that hands out Hydra keyword to basically everybody, and doesn't he hand out the team ability also?
He does. He gives them Hydra keyword and team ability.
Yeah. So when you put that with this, these guys are just phenomenal.
The Hydra, and this is honestly for both of them, they should be on every Hydra keyword team you have. Sadly, it's a unique modifier, so there's no reason to run multiples of this generic. But it should be on that you have. This guy, he's amazing. Yep.
Yeah, so I'm just going to say, too, that we like the other Hydra, and so there's no real point in covering that one. That gives a unique modifier for ranged attacks. So we're both in the same boat on that one. We like it.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, next up we have Red Union Jack, 30 points, has Earth X, Excalibur, Soldier keywords, has a stiff upper lip trait, which is when he is damaged by an opponent's attack, after resolution, remove a token. Okay, something bad had to happen for you to get that. And then special on his attack is Energy Explosion. When he uses it, damage dealt to each target is increased by 1, so he deals 3 damage. Energy Explosion, running shot with an 8 movement, 10 attack. He actually deals more damage with Energy Explosion than he does with his standard printed. For 30 points, these guys aren't a bad harasser. Like, it's enough to make you not want to cluster your figures together. So I kind of like them. Soldier keyword's the only like really usable keyword that he has, but these guys are so low costed. Might be worth just having one on a team just to de-incentivize clustering up.
I can see him team for sure. I like him. I missed when Energy Explosion was based on bolts, and I could. That's what I loved about Energy Explosion, was when it was 3 damage, 4 damage Energy Explosion. So the fact that you do a 3 damage Energy Explosion, I love it. I absolutely love it.
Yeah. All right. So do you have any strong opinions on Spider's Man, or are we just going to agree that he's not very good?
You know, I think both Spider's Man's whatever, they both kind of missed the mark with how he was in the book. I'm really disappointed, honestly, by both of them. It's a bummer because, you know, he wasn't like a bruiser fighter guy, whatever, but he was a pretty, I don't want to say major player, but he hurt a lot of characters. Like he could pretty good, and this guy is just like meh. Like they're both Spiders, man. Like I feel like they really missed the mark on this character, making him accurate to the story.
Black Panther. I actually enjoy this figure. 90 points, Animal, Earth X, Ruler, Wakanda keywords, has improved movement, ignores elevated, hindering terrain, has traded Blades, Claws, Fangs, and Stealth. The special that he has on his defense for his first 2 clicks is Combat Reflexes, Super Senses, Willpower. And then the special on his damage is Leadership, Outwit. When he uses Leadership on a 6, you may instead remove all action tokens from a chosen character and modify its attack +1 this turn. I think this guy's really strong on a Wakanda keyword. If you could find a way to run him with maybe the Gauntlet Black Panther or something like that, he might be okay on Animal too. But 90 points is a little much, but I do like this guy. He's kind of nightmarish, especially in sealed.
You know, I think this is like an 80-point dial, but it's still a really good dial, even if he's just, I think, a little what he does. I really do like this Black Panther a lot, though. I mean, charge, blades, he's coming out of stealth. I mean, a good thing is he's got willpower top dial. I really do like
Next up, we have Spider-Man. Number 30 has the PD and Spider-Man team abilities. Has a 8 movement with a special, 9 attack, 17 defense with whatever that is, super senses, 1 damage with support. Has leap climb. When Spider-Man moves after resolution, you may choose a friendly character adjacent to a square he moved through. If you do, place that character, and it can't be given a cost of action this turn. So it's placing, but still giving the as if he was carried, no action after transport. I feel like I'm just picking up 20-point Volturion at that point. He does have police keyword, so it grants you a support character for police. He has support and then perplex, so I could see that. But other than that, like if you're just having him for the transporter thing, I'm picking Volturion for 10 points less.
You know, I like this Spider-Man, and I wish I'd pull him in every Earth X booster I got in sealed or in whatever, because he can carry regardless of Battle Fury, regardless of flight symbols. I really like that. I really do. I think he's a utility piece, but because he can carry regardless of Battle Fury and regardless of flight, I think that's really cool. I really like this Spider-Man a lot. You know, I think he's great.
He could place the giant figures too, right? Like the multi-base? Because he's placing, not carrying.
No, they have to be a standard. I believe they have to be a standard character.
Okay.
For his.
All right then. Well, it's still.
Yeah, a friendly standard. Yeah, sadly.
Oh yeah. Well, it helps if I read. Okay. Yeah. So, Calder likes him. I don't care for him. It's okay. All right. Next up, we have number 16, Karnak. 50 points. Has the Inhumans, martial artist, Earth X keywords. Starts off with charge, 11 attack with a special, 17 defense, super senses, Indom, 2 damage with perplex. Has that Terragenesis twice that all the Inhumans have. When you target that Inhuman with perplex, roll a d6. If the d6 is less than the click number they're on, add an additional 1 to that value, which is good. And then the special that he has is Precision Strike. When Karnak makes an attack, if the target's defensive value is modified higher than it's printed, use the printed value instead. So I'm just going to put it out there. He's an Inhuman, so I'm going to play him no matter what. This is actually a really good support Inhuman, and actually for martial artists too, because martial artists don't have a lot of perplex or support, prob. So that's pretty good there. And then just making them use printed defensive values. So that gets rid of energy shield, and then whatever the close one is that I can't think of. Combat reflexes. Gets rid of all that stuff, plus just standard perplexes. I like him a lot, but then again, I'm partial to Inhumans.
He's okay. I'm probably never going to use this Karnak. I'm not a big Inhumans guy. Karnak is just not, like, he's really good. I think he's a pretty solid figure, especially on Inhumans team, since he has plus really huge. Help out. So cool. I haven't thought to see what he can do.
Yeah. All right. So the next one up is Jackal. Can we just agree that he's not very good? I haven't run into a situation yet where I
very good. The most Jackal used is someone just ran up with him, based somebody. Combat reflexes. I have shape change. I've got poison on person. I'm just gonna poison whatever that I've seen Jackal used. He has capable attack, 3 damage. He can do 3 damage on every click. He can do 4 damage. Sidestep plus combat expert is always good. I mean, but he's okay. His traits gimmicky, and it might pull off something. I don't know, but I don't like him that much.
Yeah, I'm just not it's not up my alley there. Ezekiel Sims, 50 points, mystical with basically prob control and Spider-Man team ability. Barrier is free, but only to place 1 marker adjacent to a friendly character with Spider-Man keyword. He's friendly to himself and has a Spider-Man keyword, so he can place it adjacent to himself. So you could run 2 of these guys, and on the correct map, you could basically barrier off to potentially not get hit. 9 movement with charge, 10 attack, super strength, ignores elevated and hindering terrain. Mystical's a strong keyword, and free barrier could be good for that. They don't seem to be handing out too much free barrier. Spider-Man family keywords, so it's I wouldn't say it's very good. I'd say this guy's mediocre, but the free barrier gives you, or at least gives me, pause to like put it in the back of my mind where I don't need him now, but I might need him in the future.
For me, he's okay. I mean, he's a Spider-Man kind of use. Charge super strength isn't bad. He's okay. That's it. That's all I got.
Yeah.
He's like, he's fine.
Yeah. We're going to skip over regular Vulture because I really want to talk about Prime Vulture because the feathery boy is where it's at. It's just the Prime Vulture is so much better. Although it makes me real sad that he doesn't have the Sinister Syndicate team ability. Like, they didn't even have to give him the Sinister Syndicate like trait that they handed out. Just give him the keyword. That's all I wanted. But they couldn't do that. So 50 points gets you a trait where when Vulture KOs... What's that?
Nothing.
Okay. When Vulture KOs a character after resolution, he can use charge at no cost, so that's awesome. And then he's got the special on his movement, which is charge sidestep. When he uses sidestep, roll d6. 4 through 6, he can use sidestep a second time. He's got 9 movement with that special, 11 attack, super strength, 18 defense, toughness, 3 damage. So basically you can deal 5 damage with a heavy object, and it's basically a 15-point cheaper up-close version of Hawkeye with not as good keywords. He's got Brute and however you say it, Magia, but it's basically the same thing. So I do like him. I think this is the best Prime in the set. I've been saying that for a little bit now. I'm not going to take that back. 50 points is just a steal for this guy.
This Vulture, I'm not looking forward to how much of him I'm gonna see, if I'm honest. I think he's really good. He's not someone I would play in all honesty. I'm gonna get sick of probably sitting across the table from this guy. He is really good. I'm very happy they didn't give him the Sinister Syndicate 6 United trait, because then he's a 12-4 something top dial 19. Yeah, he's nuts. He would be nuts with that trait. He's already really good. So your only bet against this guy, try to just kill him as fast as possible, just to even just at least get him off charge. Good lord, I mean, he's nuts. He's nuts.
Yep. All right, next up we have Crime Master. This is probably like my least favorite of the crime bosses they have. 50 points, Underworld. Has a special on his movement that's sidestep and stealth. Has one trait where he has shape change. When Crime Master's KO'd, choose another friendly character. That character can use shape change this game, which is okay. And then Leadership Mastermind. When he uses leadership and succeeds, instead of removing an action token, you may generate 2 hired flunky bystanders, maximum 4. And he has Outwit. Really, the only reason I could see having him on a team would be for the hired flunkies, and there's way better figures for the hired flunkies. And there's also way better ways to get yourself some shape change than giving up a 50-point figure. So this guy's just kind of a hard pass for me.
If truly 50 points, I don't know, or if this is a typo, because he's not worth 50 points. The rest of the uncommon enforcers, they're all 30. This guy is 100,000% not worth 50 points. He's bad. He's bad for 50. He would be usable at 30, but
yeah, I'm 99% sure he is 50, but I don't have the card sitting in front of me. But even at 30, I still wouldn't run him. There's better uses of 30 points. All right, so next up we have Fancy Dan. This is the uncommon version. There's 2 of them. 30 points, Underworld team ability, 8 movement with sidestep, 10 attack, 17 defense, energy shield deflection, 2 damage. Enforcers, Magia, and Martial Arts keywords. Not the strongest keywords ever, although Enforcers is deceptively good. They did that this set. I don't know why. But that's pretty good. Then he has a trait, which is a new boss every week. At the beginning of the game, choose a friendly character that can use Leadership or Mastermind. And a keyword that character has, Fancy Dan has, gains that keyword. Doesn't affect theme team, so it's after the game started, so you'll lose theme. But still, pretty cool, and there's some workarounds for that I'm going to cover in a team building video. But he has a special on his damage, which is range combat expert power. Choose 2 other friendly characters within range. And the Enforcer's keyword, this turn, those characters have free make an attack. It's important to note that it's not within line of fire, it's just within range. So he's got a 6 range, free attack, so you get to double up on your attacks for 1 power action. This guy for 50 points, or for 30 points, even at 50 points it would be good.
Yeah.
Because you get 2 figures get to do that,
yeah.
not just 1.
He's dumb. I think he's insane for 30 points. That's amazing. Just in this set alone, Silver Sable, she can take a keyword, or of course there are a lot of enforcers, and a lot of them have really good attacking options. I think he's great. Being able to, one action, and then you get 2 attacks, and they are close to range. I think that's awesome. I really think it's great because they can move. He can sidestep up. They can all sidestep whatever, and then they can move up there 8 or 10 or whatever, and then they can make an attack with range or close. I think he's awesome. I think he's great. He has a really cool, maybe pseudo alpha strike he can pull off in sealed, and I think that is really, really neat.
Yeah, I like him a lot. And then, like you said, Silver Sable, or if you're, looking at doing stuff with some other sets, Eternity is like the dude for this guy. Next up, we have Montana. He's 30 points, has that new boss everyday trait. Unique modifier when Montana hits after resolution hit. Opposing characters modify combat values -1 until your next turn. He's got a 10 attack, which isn't terrible. This one's not bad, but when I look at how good the other one is, the rare one that's 20 points more, I have a hard time justifying this one.
It is rough when they make 2 versions and one is just like colossally better.
Yeah.
But this Montana has his place. I like him a lot. I think he can pull off maybe a little bit of shenanigans. You're kind of. It could kind of feel to get this off, but -1 combat values can be survivability. Is he going to hit all the time? With a 10 attack, it's going to be risky. At least he's not damaged, because that TP damage ain't going through much. But he's pretty good. He can sidestep around, and then if he lands, combat reef, move up close, kind of do a little bit of tie-up. I think he is okay for 30 points. And I know people are like, whoa, you should be like over the roof. But I'm like, for 30 points, I think you get 30 points for 30 points. Like, I think this is probably, it's not above and beyond. It's not worse. It's just like, it's pretty.
Yeah, he feels like he's appropriately costed. All right, next up we have Ox, and he's 30 points, no traits or anything. He does have Indom, Underworld Team ability. I feel like this guy's probably the worst out of the easy-to-get enforcers. Although his rare version isn't bad, his rare version's actually pretty good. We'll talk about that when we get there. But this one, I would say, the 18 defense is actually pretty decent for like a tie-up thing. But at 4 clicks, he's not going to last very long. This would be like bottom tier if I didn't have very much else in my booster and needed the points.
If you got to fill out points, then sure, he's your guy. He is the only uncommon enforcer with Indom, so that can be a plus for you or whatever. He's okay. I would say he's kind of average.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we have Electro, 50 points, Sinister Syndicate team ability, 7 range, which is actually pretty long right now. 8 movement with running shot, 10 attack with a special, 17 defense, energy shield deflection, 2 damage. Has that Sinister Syndicate United trait, and the special is energy explosion. When Electro uses it, she deals penetrating damage. Damage, energy explosion. With a 7 range is pretty good in my book. Plenty easy ways to get that up to a 13 attack fairly easily. Keyword is only Sinister Syndicate, but that's pretty easy to work with. And for 50 points, I think this is a good secondary attacker that's going to make your opponent want to, especially if they're running a cluster deployment style team, they're going to want to avoid entire sections of the map if they can't get a first strike on her.
Wow, what can I say about this figure? She lit me up in sealed and in battle royales. If you can get 6 people on your team, 3 damage, penetrating energy explosion with an 11 attack, that's 7 range. By the way, people are like, 6 range is kind of average. But once you put that 1 more, that's 7, just that 1 more square, for some reason, it is a colossal difference. I like her reach a lot. She's an 11 square reach. I'm trying to all combat values, right? So is that +1 to range?
Yep,
I would say
+1 to range. Yeah.
Yeah. So I would so try to, if you have her, I know she's only 50 points. You'll add it. I'll try to make it work, but put a full 6, one of those guys that can throw out some bystanders on that team. Because I honestly, especially with ignoring hindering, she can shoot through stealth like that Black Panther. That awesome common Black Panther we just talked about doesn't stand a chance. He's taking 3 damage right off it. I mean, I think she is awesome.
Yeah.
In sealed for sure. I'm going to talk about her in sealed a lot. In constructed, I think she's really, really good too. Penetrating energy explosion. I love it. I like her a lot. I really do.
All right. Next we have Luke Cage. I don't really like him, if I'm being honest. The Avengers Defenders War Luke Cage's spoiled me for every other Luke Cage forever, because he ignored penetrating damage and was like 50 points. But this one's 100 points, PD team ability, 9 movement with a special, 11 attack with a special, 4 damage with a special, 17 defense with Invincible and Indom. He has Quake. When he uses to target at least 2 characters, you may choose either modify the attack +2 or increase damage dealt to all targets by 1. Then he has Leadership. When he uses it and succeeds, you may also remove an action token from all friendly characters within 3 squares with the police keyword. If the result was a 6, also remove an action token from Luke Cage. And he has Charge Plasticity. Now, he's not bad, but that 17 bothers me emotionally. And you're sinking a third of your points into somebody with no range. And he can have his defense outwitted. I'm not a super fan of this guy. He does have Heroes for Hire and the police keyword. I can think of way better police that are cheaper.
He's, if you get him in a Battle Royale pack, Battle Royale. In sealed, I don't know why you chose this guy to be on your team, man. I'm sorry, but really, I might be singing a different tune if he had an 18 defense topped out. That's 17. I have to agree with you, James.
Yeah.
17 so much, but it bothers me a lot.
Yeah, it's weird how much that one difference makes, but it's just that when I see a 17 on a 100-point figure, I'm just like, nah, needs to be an 18.
Meet up to Quake once again. That's the Battle Royale than it does in sealed. I think there are better sealed options. Hopefully, this isn't the best thing in that booster that you pull. I'm brilliant, guys. You gotta rely on Luke Cage here. You're gonna have a tough time.
Yeah, it's a sad day. Next up,
sad day when Luke Cage isn't really good.
Yeah, I feel like they gave him a lot of love lately, though. So if they have one it's okay, I guess. Next up is the Hydra Falcon, 50 points, 10 movement with flight ability, 11 attack, 17 defense, energy shield, Indom, 3 damage with a special. He has a trait that share through the hive mind, unique modifier, characters within 6 squares, and the Hydra keyword modified defense +1 against ranged attacks. Then he has a special on his attack, his last 3 clicks, which is Precision Strike. When the Hydra hits, after resolutions, give an action token to hit characters that can't use willpower. So, you're probably giving them a push click. And then his trait, or his special on his damage is Passenger 4, but only to carry characters with the Hydra keyword. Mass Transporter for Hydra keyword. I like this guy a lot. So you get your +1.
Yep.
For nothing else, you get your the long and short, a Indomitable 4 passenger mover that gives +1 defense. For 50 points, that's good.
I think he is stellar for 50 points. A little combat dial, and he has ESD's whole dial, but I can look past that. I think he's awesome. For 50 points, I absolutely love this Hydra Falcon. Love him.
Yep, and he's friendly to himself, so he gets +1 defense at range. So that's a thing. Next up is Hydra Sharon Carter. Shannon Carter. I don't know.
Sharon Carter. Yep.
Sharon Carter. There we go. I don't know. I couldn't read for a second. Has improved targeting, ignores characters. That's actually pretty rare. She has unique modifier +1 defense against close attacks. Precision Strike. When she hits after resolution, if they can't use willpower, give them a token. Adjacent opposing characters can't be healed is the special on her damage. I think she's not bad because of the +1 for close attacks, but if I had to choose which one out of these last 2 were better, I'd say Hydra Falcon all day, every day, especially when this one's 10 points more. But she does have range shot, with that, so she is fairly mobile, but probably my least favorite out of those particular two.
I had that her generic version was 5 points more than the other one, but that made sense.
Yeah.
Plus the range, which is better. This one for 60 points. I mean, it's rough. It's really rough.
Yeah.
I think that whole can't be healed is only top dial, and just for that one click. If it was also on 4 and 5, maybe I might be different. But no, I don't think she's worth her 60.
Yeah, no. All right. Do you have any strong feelings on Blue Union Jack? I don't particularly care for him. So we have up next we got President Osborne for 50 points. Enforcers, Hydra, Politician, Sinister Syndicate keywords. The real reason you're playing him is for his trait. You're my bodyguard and I pay cash. At the beginning of the game, choose a friendly character that is 75 points or less, or has the Sinister Syndicate keyword to become President Osborne's bodyguard. When the President Osborne's bodyguard is within 4 squares, they have free choose 2 different combat values and modify both +1 until your next turn. That is phenomenal. And then he also generates those hired flunkies with that New York Crime Boss trait. So he has leadership and mastermind his entire dial. Underworld team ability. I like this guy a lot just because it's like basically double perplexer if you use him right.
I love him. Oh man, I've seen him do some nasty things. I think that bodyguard trait is amazing. I like it a lot. No, seriously, this President Osborne, he's good. I don't know if this is like super great for what he did in the book because he didn't really do anything. So this is pretty much what he's going to do in Clicks. He's going to sit back, not do anything, not try to get hit, and he's going to bump up somebody's stats. I think on a Sinister Syndicate theme team, he's really, really good.
All right, next up, we're going to talk about somebody that really nobody likes. I don't even know why we're talking about him right now, but the Skull. For 40 points. For 40 points, he's got a 0 range, triple target. Okay. 7 movement with sidestep, 12 attack, 16 defense with combat reflexes, 1 damage with leadership.
Reflex.
Yeah. 1 damage with leadership. Earth X keyword. Has a trait which is mind control. When he uses it as a ranged action, you may target 1 character regardless of range. Still requires line of fire, but can't target other characters. And then he has a special on his defense for his last 2 clicks, which is Stop Mastermind. When the Skull uses Mastermind, he may choose a friendly character regardless of point value. Whew. This guy's pretty good. Depending on the map you put him on, it's
dumb.
Silly. Yeah. So happy that he's a unique.
You better try to... oh my gosh, if he wasn't unique, he would be broken. But thank goodness he's only kind of broken by being special. So the Skull, you better win map. If you pull him in sealed, you're like, okay, who else has Earth X? We got to make Earth X happen. It's like, whoa, we better win map because you put them on, I don't know, like some crazy outdoor map. And you put them on a muck time, whatever. You put them on that map where you got line of fire, and whoo boy, Skull and just go to town. Oh, it's gonna hurt so bad. He's doing this. He's doing this every turn. I don't care. Maybe put someone else leadership next to him. I don't know. I think there's somebody in the set who gives somebody else. But either way, let's use the Skull. He's crazy. He's 12 attack, map wide mind control. And then for some reason, if they really try to base him, they're like, you know what? Let's get rid of this punk kid. He can triple target mind control. It'd be different if he didn't have 2 stop clicks. If he didn't have 2 stop clicks, I'd say he's soft. Eventually, he might get 1 mind control off, and then he'll get, boom, 1 shot. But he's got 2 stop clicks. With Mastermind, that he can just Mastermind to literally anyone? Are you kidding me?
Yep. All right, so next up we have King Britain. 120 points, Mystics team ability, 9 movement with charge, flight ability, 11 attack, super strength, 18 defense, Indom with a special, 4 damage with a special. Has that stiff upper lip trait that I think basically everybody with Excalibur has, which is when he takes damage, remove a token. Special on his defense is impervious if Captain Britain is the only friendly character closest to the opponent's starting area. Friendly characters modified defense +1. Leadership, but only to choose 2 characters, but may choose 2 characters instead of 1. So in sealed, this guy's pretty good. I, however, am not paying 120 points in constructed for a 0 range figure. But in sealed, This guy's awesome. I've seen him. He gave me a headache the couple times I played against.
He's dumb in sealed. I have had the fortune of pulling him in battle royale and in normal 2-booster sealed, and I've had the misfortune of playing against him. Oh, he's good. He's really good. I mean, keep him up. He's got a 19 defense now. Everybody else +1 defense. That's already insane. Honestly, I've had games where he doesn't take any damage at all. The Miss 16 ability doesn't get used. I've had games where he takes some damage, and the Miss 16 ability, it sort of helps. It's not the biggest thing, but it makes you think about hitting him. You're like, man, I got to hit a 19. I got to go through Impervious, even with penetrating or whatever. And he's got Mystics. I'm going to get hurt for doing this. Like, he is so good. I mean, once he takes damage, like these middle clicks are really bad. This Force Blast, Invulnerability, this slew of – it's terrible. But because of how, I don't want to say easy, but because of how effective he is at top dial and how you can probably keep him at top dial, it's good. It's really good. I mean, even late dial, right? He's sidestep blades, great offensive capability, or you can also heal up other people if you want to. Like I really, really like this King Britain within this set's boundaries. I love him a lot.
Yep. So we're in agreement there. Next up, I'm not even going to click on it. Black Knight. I'm not paying 100 points for a 10 attack. I'm just sorry, that's not going to happen. And then he's got charge.
It's that 10 attack, 9 attack, 10 attack, whole dial. That's just really, it's bad. You know, it's such low attack value for 100 points.
Yeah, it's not very good. So next up we have Namor, 130 points. 10 movement with a special flight ability, 11 attack, super strength, 18 defense, impervious, indomitability, 4 damage with battle fury, improved movement, ignores characters. Then he has 1 trait, modify Namor's defense +2 if he occupies water, so that gets him up to a 20. And then his other trait is poison, but only if Namor does not occupy water terrain. And then the special on his movement is charge flurry. In sealed, good. In constructed, again, I'm not paying 130 points for 0 range. Although that 20 defense is pretty stiff, but I'm just not, because then we're talking about I'm picking an all water map like the flooded one, and I gotta hope everybody else on my team gets a bonus for that. So he's just not, he's not doing it for me at either point value. What do you think?
He can be really annoying on an Atlantis team with, like what you said, that water-based stuff outside of sealed. In sealed, pull and play him. Like, that's just it, period. He's easy to play. Charge flurry. Boom, I one-shot somebody else. You know, next turn, charge flurry. One-shot another person for 4 damage, ignoring shape change. You know, like, I think he's insane in sealed. Sealed, pull him and play him. Constructed, he can probably be a headache with an Atlantis Cuber theme team. But that's more casual.
Yep. Yeah, I would say it's like a second tier team. All right. So next up we have Doc Ock. He's got 2 different point lines, 75 points and 75 and 50 points. Basically, you're choosing between, do you want outwit or do you want leadership? He has Sinister Syndicate team ability, 4 range, single target, scientist and Sinister Syndicate team. Keywords, improved movement, elevation, and characters. Has that Sinister Syndicate United trait, and his other trait is Arms of the Octopus. At the beginning of your turn, you may choose 1, Energy Shield Deflection, Flurry, Passenger 2, free move up to 4 squares. Dr. Octopus has the chosen power or ability until your next turn. I like this guy a lot, even at both point values, just because of his ability to flex into different things. So you need him to, flurry for a turn to try to take somebody out. You got flurry. If you're on a defensive turn, you choose Energy Shield Deflection. If you want to have a pseudo charge, you choose the free move 4, and then you use your sidestep so that you move 6, and then you just attack for 3 damage. If you need, if you're not adjacent to somebody but your buddy is, and you've got 2 buddies that you need to get out of there, you've got Passenger 2 with sidestep and a 9 movement across the entire dial. I like him at both point values. I feel like he's really useful.
Yeah, absolutely. I liked him really, really well in the Battle Royale once. I mean, for move up flurry, if you have line of fire to them first, outwit, sidestep. I think he's insane. He was like a one-man standing for me for a really long time because A ignores characters. So it's like, oh, I got to dip out, free move, 4 squares. See you later, Joe. I'm going to carry my guy with me too. We're going to take a turn to clear. You worry about everybody else on the table. You know, when he has the convert ESD, you know, I got 19 range up close, makes him really good. You know, even down dial, he's awesome. You know, you want to flurry, you know, he at least still has 3 damage. And when he doesn't have 3 damage, he has precision strike, which is always awesome with flurry. So I think he's great. I think sealed, pull him, play him, because he can flurry for 12-4, which is better than what Namor can do. And he can also ignore, like, he has a pseudo charge flurry. He's like Namor for way less points, like without the beefy ability, whatever. But the damage output is still there, which I really enjoy about the Dr. Octopus. And he can do it over elevated, so he sort of has, you know, pseudo flight like Namor. So I really, really like this Dr. Octopus a lot.
Yep. All right. So next up we have the Beetle. Only real reason we're talking about him is because he has the Beetle pod object. Like Dr. Octopus, you can run him at 75 or 50 points. Has Sinister Syndicate team ability, 9 movement with running shot, 11 attack, energy explosion, 17 defense, super senses, 2 damage with prob. Starts the game with the Beetle pod, Sinister Syndicate United trait, and Organizer of the Sinister Syndicate is another trait, which is leadership. When a friendly character within 6 squares replaces its attack value with using the Sinister Syndicate team ability, modify the attack +1. So if somebody replaces their attack value with his to get to an 11, they actually have a 12 because of his, which is actually pretty decent. Right. And the Beetle pod does what it grants +3 movement and flight, I think.
And toughness.
And toughness.
Something about that toughness. So he's a lot better with the Beetle pod, which is great because he starts that equipped. So it makes him so much better. He's traded toughness the entire dot. He's got +3 to movement. He has flight, you know. Yeah. So he's pretty good. I don't know if I'd play him at 75. Maybe if you want that +1 stat, it's pretty solid. Yeah. In a battle royale, boom, awesome. Especially with Sinister Syndicate. Outside of Seal, I think he's pretty good with Seal if you pull a lot of Sinister Syndicate. He's Syndicate orientated. So obviously that's when he's the best. But of course, running energy. It's replaced in modify, so he's running up 7 squares, which is, you know, is pretty darn good right there. So that's, but outside, I don't think anyone's going to play Beetle that much unless it's on a Sinister Syndicate theme team outside of Sealed in all reality. Yeah,
it would just be a for fun thing. This guy's not really going anywhere. Next up, we're going to talk about Alistair Smythe. He has Charge Flurry with a 3 damage Outwit, Blaze Claw's Fangs with 10 attack, 50 points. Starts off with the Mini Slayer, which is really, I think, what's worth talking about for him. And then he has another trait, which is when he attacks a character with Spider-Man family keyword, after resolution, deal that character 1 penetrating damage. There's a lot more characters with Spider-Man family keyword than I thought in this set, so that is semi-useful. But overall, not having running shot kind of hurts this guy. He doesn't have, you know, any of the Sinister Syndicate stuff. I don't know. I'm kind of blasé on this guy. Like there are worse places to spend 50 points, but there's also a lot better places.
Right.
So what
I think his equipment will see. I think his equipment is going to see a lot more play than he will, for sure, outside of Seal. You know, first choice, I wouldn't quite say pull and play him, but he is really good. So yeah, if you have some carry, you know, he's a charge flurry, a 10-3, that's really good. With super senses, you can one-shot a Spider-Man character, dealing him, 7 damage, you know, because it's after resolutions, sadly. Yeah. There are a lot more Spider-Man family people in this. Going to be, trust me, I'm an Earth X guy. I wanted more Earth X than Spider people, but we got more Spider people, I guess. So that makes that trait a lot better. And in Sealed, you know, there's not a ton of objects that you really need to take off Venom symbiote's pretty big. Goblin glider, if you can track him down somehow and charge flurry him, you know, that's pretty good. But just his object, remember, you can play him in Sealed without his object. So if you just want to use that object, I think that's also a really good choice. The object will see a lot more play. A lot more play than this guy will.
Yeah, and for those of you that don't know, basically the object takes away the object of somebody that you hit with it. So that's
right.
That's pretty good there. Next up is Spider-Man, And this is another character that has equipment. He has the web shooters, which, what do those grant? Those grant like in cap or something like that.
It's an in cap with like a range of 4.
Yeah.
There's some other stuff that goes with it. Yeah.
Yeah. So 90 points, Spider-Man team ability, Avengers, scientist, Spider-Man family, reporter keywords, improved movement, ignores elevated, hindering, and characters, starts the game with the web shooters, has another trait which is free if no friendly character activated this trait this turn. Choose an opposing character that attacked a friendly character with the Spider-Man family keyword since your last turn. Play Spider-Man such that he can make a close attack targeting the chosen character, then do so. So basically you're getting a free attack, which is pretty good if you're on a Spider-Man family keyworded team. And then the special on his movement that he has on his first 2 clicks is running shot. When Spider-Man makes an attack or is attacked, after resolution you may move him 1 square. So that's pretty cool there. So basically you get your 5 movement running shot, and then after you make your attack you get to do an extra square movement, which is good. He has Indom, he has Prob. For 90 points he's not bad. I think he's probably the worst equipment out of all the equipment, though. Those web shooters are probably what I'm least impressed with.
Yeah.
But I think once retirement happens, this is probably going to be the best Spider-Man we have available.
For sure, and he is a really flavorful Spider-Man. I really enjoyed him. I enjoyed playing him in Sealed. I think he's a solid pick in a casual setting. Spider-Man family, absolutely. I like that his retaliation. No one has to be damaged. They just have to be. They don't even have to be hit. They just have to be attacked. They just attack a friendly character. So you target someone with an attack. They don't even have to hit. They could miss, and it's retaliating them for honestly doing nothing. That's if they don't damage them, whatever. You can still retaliate, which is awesome. And then if he makes the attack, he doesn't have to stay close to them. He can move away with his other, his cool running shot, and then he can running shot somewhere else. If that person, you just don't want to waste giving them a token or whatever. So I like this Spider-Man a lot. He never drops below 10 attack, which is great. On his last 2 clicks, he's got Perplex with whatever it is, hypersonic speed, which I think is awesome. I think he's a very, very good Spider-Man and a very solid pick. Yeah, I absolutely. Yeah, I'm behind him 100%.
Yeah, and I was going to say it's worth noting he has move and attack on every click, be it running shot,
also
hypersonic. So he's got something going on. Avengers is a real strong keyword. Not meta, but you could definitely make a very solid regular week playing team with him. All right, next up we have Spider-Man, but this is Miles Morales, the Prime. He is 75 points. Spider-Man team ability, exiles future scientist, Spider-Man family keywords, improved movement, ignores elevated, hindering, and characters. Has 1 trait, which is super senses. When he uses it and super senses succeeds, after resolutions you may move him 2 squares, protected outwit. So that's pretty cool there. Then he has another trait called Venom Strike. Whenever Spider-Man hits with close attack, after resolutions, choose 1 to last until your next turn. Hit characters gain immobile, or hit characters modify attack -1. That's not bad, and we'll get into why that's not bad here in a minute. And then he has a special on his defense for his first 3 clicks. At the beginning of your turn, you may choose 1 to last until your next turn, attack +1 or stealth. So the attack +1 would get him up to a 12 attack. Important to note that he has charge and quake. So if you're able to quake into a group of people, they all get whatever your Venom Strike thing is, so that you can either make them all immobile or all modify attack -1. He has outwit. I think he's okay. I think he's in my opinion, he's the second best Prime in the set.
I would agree with you there. I think he's a great Prime. You're not going to pull him a lot, right? The Rare Prime, Super Rare Prime. Those are going to be really tough to show up in Sealed. I think he's a great pick in a Battle Royale if you get lucky enough to do it, because you can charge Quake a bunch of people with a 12 attack, and then now they're all immobile. And if you somehow plan it out like a stealth and they can't shoot you and they're immobile, that'd be awesome, of course. So I think there's great possibilities with this guy. Traded super sense is amazing. +1 to attack is awesome. Stealth is awesome. I do love this. I'm not even I would never. Then that Spider-Verse movie came out, and now this figure's out, and it kind of makes me want to get this figure because this is a great Miles Morales. I think he's awesome for Spider-Man family. and just to play in general. I think he's a really solid figure.
Mm-hmm. Yep, definitely. I don't know that I'm going to hunt one down, but I wouldn't be sad if I pulled him. Next one we're going to talk about is Steg Ron. A lot of people were saying he was missing from Battle World, so here he is in this one. 75 points, and really nothing on his dial matters, so we're not even going to cover it. The thing that matters is his one trait, Retro Mutagen Ray. Bystanders printed on this card are Dinosaur. At the beginning of the game, generate one of each dinosaur. Power, generate Dinosaur if the dinosaur is not already on the map. And then his other one is double power action. This turn, Stegon and his dinosaurs have free move, then make a close attack. This spawning style of figure, there's one other really good spawning figure that we didn't get to yet. This guy at 75 points, he has the Scientist and Animal keywords, which are pretty good. Shield's not bad. Spider Island, there's some things you could work with. I'm real happy to see Savage Land as a keyword, but that's just a bad keyword. And Sinister Syndicate's not bad, but again, you're not playing them for any of that stuff. You're straight up just playing them for the UAV style figures, which are the three dinosaurs that do various things. I think this is one of the meta figures that we're going to see. I think so far we've covered this guy, the Skull, and I feel Vulture maybe are probably the most meta figures we've covered so far. I think people are going to try to break this guy. What do you think?
Right. For 75 points, he can make in one turn. He can full square move, and so can all these other dinosaurs, and they can all make an attack. It's dumb. So he's making 4 attacks in one turn. That's one double power action. Oh no, he's got to push to do it. So if you're playing against a team, maybe they pulled a Venom, any Venom in this set, maybe they got shape changed for whatever reason. That don't matter. They all have Battle Fury. That makes it tough to carry them up and to get them places. I know. But they all have Battle Fury. They all have Giant Reach of some kind. Most of them have Giant Reach too, except for the Brontosaurus. The Stegosaurus, for some reason, has the Mystics team ability because, I guess, got spikes or whatever. Dinosaurs, man. I don't know what dinosaurs do. Like, it's insane. I love Steg Ron. I played him in Sealed. I had to play against him. He's tough. He's fun. He's great. I cannot say enough kind words. What's great is you can carry up Steg Ron. Someone can carry him up. And then he can do it. Like, you can't carry the dinosaurs, sure, but you can at least get him out there. You can move up the dinosaurs and whatnot. I think he's dumb. It's one action to make 4 attacks, and they're full moves. It's crazy what's they on. And if they don't have action tokens, they can make another attack. Like, it's these casual, guys, sealed, meta, like all of it.
Yeah, I can definitely see people trying to run a double Steg Ron team. I think that's gonna be so many. Ooh, I gave myself the vapors thinking about it. Next is the Rose. He has Hydra, Magia, Spy, keywords, Underworld. You don't want to talk about him? Yeah, he's not really that great. He's got Prob. I don't know. I was
the Rose. Like, I'm disappointed that he exists.
Yeah. Mr. Negative, I feel like you do about the Rose. Do you want to talk about him? I feel like he's just bad.
Me too. I don't know anything about Mr. Negative. I was bummed I pulled a bunch of...
Yeah.
If you like him, play him. Not for me.
Right. So up next we have the other Fancy Dan. This is the rare version. Now, important to note, I like the uncommon version better, but this one's not bad. He's got the new boss every week trait. Has another trait where he gets energy shield, but +3 instead of +2, so that gets him up to 20 defense. Then he has a special on his attack for his first 2 clicks, which is Precision Strike. When Fancy Dan misses with a ranged attack, after resolution, you may place the missed target in a square adjacent to the one it occupied. Now, there's a ton of maps where that's actually really good. So you might find yourself actually perplexing down your own attack depending on what map you're on. For 50 points, he's not bad. Very niche-y. Very, very niche, but has a place. What do you think?
Let's be a ranged guy.
Yeah.
Ants boy. Actually, it could swing a game. 1 square is the difference between a 5-square charge. Getting there or missing by 1, so maybe that's so niche what you said. It's so tough to consistently. His +3 ESD gives him a lot of, staying power if you keep him far enough away, kind of keep him in the back. I think he's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like him a lot. But, at the end of the day, up close, he's a 17 super senses. He might get one shot pretty easily.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, pay 20 points less and get the other good fancy Dan. Next up is my preferred Montana, which is 50 points. Underworld team ability, 4 range, dual target, 10 movement with whatever plasticity, 11 attack with special, 18 defense, super senses, 2 damage with shape change. Has that new boss every week trait. Has another trait called a Ride 'em Cowboy. When an opposing character moves through a square adjacent to Montana after resolution, you may place Montana adjacent to that hit character. Now that's important because there's a lot of characters that ignore characters on movement, so they might get around his plasticity. No, not today. So he's staying right there with them. And then his special on his attack is Incapacitate when Montana uses it and hits. After resolution, you may choose one. Place the hit character adjacent to Montana, or a hit character gains immobile until your next turn. He has that dual target, so that it could be a big deal. That could be a big deal. I like this guy a lot. He is out of the 2 Montanas, this is the one that I like the most.
For me, this is yeehaw! Man, this is a good Montana. Oh boy. I can't tell you enough about how much I like this Montana. He is the best tie-up figure I have seen in a really long time. Plasticity, super senses, shape change, top dial. In down dial, he pulls them in close with that rope, or they get immobile. That's so dumb. I love how much stuff can give out immobile, but I love that he's got an 11 attack this time. And, for only 50 points, there's enough to boost his action tokens, and then he can suck him in close where it's like, guess what? Now you're next to me. I've got shape change, super senses, and I got plasticity. And even if you go away from me, I'm still adjacent to you. So if you're a ranged figure, that really sucks to be you, bud, because now you got to deal with Montana. Down dial, if he takes damage, he has flurry and one of my favorite combos ever, precision strike, which is dope. So if you've got people roped in real close to you, they deal you a little bit of damage. Don't sweat it. Flurry, precision strike is great. Combat reflexes still makes you an awesome tie-up figure. I love this Montana, and I'm gonna play him a lot, and I mean a lot, folks. Like way too much.
Right, yeah, I think too, like, if your opponent gets adjacent to him and they try to, like, break away, running shot away, and for some reason succeed, I believe that when they stop their movement, he's still adjacent, so they can't make their ranged attack. Like, I think that's how it works. Like, I think you're just in Hose Town. You got to deal with Montana first. So
that's right.
All right, so up next we have Ox. He is 50 points, Underworld team ability, 10 movement with a special, 11 attack, super strength, 18 defense, invulnerability, 3 damage, has that new boss every week trait, has another trait called Seeing Red. When Ox attacks a single opposing character, modifies attack plus his attack and damage +1 for each red power displayed on the dial. That's cool. I just always like when they do stuff like that it has to do with like colors or whatnot. And then his other his special on his movement is Charge. When Ox uses it, you may choose to not have his speed. If you do, he can only move in a direct path. So you got a 10 movement charge with an 11 attack and super strength, so you can deal out 5 damage, or possibly 6 if they have a red on their dial. That would be a 12 attack for 6 damage. This is my preferred Ox. So my enforcers are uncommon, fancy Dan, and then the rest of them are the rare ones. What do you feel about this?
Right. I love this Ox. I think it's great. Full movement charge. Even if it's in a straight line, is not bad at all. So you carry him up one turn. Next turn, maybe charge somebody up. You never know. In a battle royale, he's insane. I think that's awesome. There's a lot of red in this set. There's a lot of blades, claws, fangs. There's a lot of super senses. Looking at you, spider people. So he's, hopefully, if you choose your targets right, he should have a 12-4. No problem. I love this Ox. I love him.
Yep. All right. Up next, we have Clea. She's 100 points. Has Mystic's team ability. And I'm just going to say, like, I like her in sealed. I don't like her for constructed, really, because you have to run her with super rare Loki to get the most out of everything. It's any character named Loki. So you could run her with, like, the 65.1 from Mighty Thor. So when Clea attacks, opposing characters can't use shape change. When a friendly character named Loki is within 4 squares of line of fire, both characters have precision strike and deal 2 penetrating damage instead of 1 when using the Mystic's team ability. And she has defend for special on her defense. If friendly character is hit while replacing its defensive value with Clea's, damage dealt by that attack becomes unavoidable. And after resolution, heal Clea equal to half the damage dealt. She's not bad. She's not great either, though. You could have fun with her in Constructed, but in Sealed, I would only really run her if you also pulled Super Rare Loki.
I would almost never play her, honestly. If I saw her on booster, I'd be like, "Oh, that sucks. That's my rare. It's this piece of garbage. I hate her so much." Like I don't like her. I don't like her at all. You got to play her with Loki, and even then, her dial's bad. Like, sure, now she's dealing more with Mystics, but like she's got ESD, phasing, no movement attack, no willpower. Yeah, she's bad. I think she's
a lot
bad.
of 10s and 9s.
Yeah.
Madam Hydra, I'm not even going to click on. She's terrible. Man Wolf, I'm not a super fan of. So that means we're going to skip right on down.
10s and 9s.
So we're just skipping right down to Black Bolt. So you can either play him at 150 or 100. At 150, he has Hypersonic, and at 100, he has Running Shot. He has Terrigenesis twice. Then he has another trait, which is when Black Bolt has no action tokens, lines of fire drawn to him are blocked, which is good. Then the special on his attack for his last 2 clicks is Pulse Wave. When Black Bolt uses it, he can use Improved Targeting, ignores blocking, and you may instead choose a number from 1 through 5 to be the range value of the Pulse Wave. You don't have it, and you can't modify it. After resolution, destroy all blocking terrain within that use of Pulse Wave's range. That's fabulous. And then he has Improved Targeting, ignores hindering, ignores and destroys blocking terrain. Oh. I feel, oh no, this is HC Ron's messing up.
Gorgon stuff.
Yeah, that's the Gorgon stuff. But anyway, 5 damage with leadership, Indom, flight ability. If I pulled him in Sealed, I'm running him. If I'm using him in Constructed, I got way better ways to use 150 points. But again, I'm just partial to Inhumans, so I'm probably going to use them anyway and just lose.
No, Sealed for me, pull and play him. If you see him in your Battle Royale booster, he better be your first pick. I mean, I don't think there'd be much else you'd choose over him. I think he's awesome. Seriously, in Constructed, it's kind of like a maybe. If you're playing a Bizarro game, I'd say, yeah, Constructed easy. Let's play him. But anything outside of that, very specific caveat, yeah, maybe. He's like, Hypersonic making it a 4 for 5 damage is pretty darn good, I'd say.
Mm-hmm. Next up, we have another Inhuman Triton. You can play him at 100 points, or I think 60 points is the other one. It might be 50. He has improved movement, ignores characters.
It's 75.
75. Could be 75. He has the Terrigenesis twice. Has another trait called Constricting Coils. When Triton hits an opposing character after resolution, roll a d6, 3 through 6. Give the hit character an action token, and if that character occupies water terrain, deal them 1 penetrating damage. Charge Hypersonic Speed, but only if Triton occupies water terrain, and that's his Dart like an eel special on his movement. This guy's just Nietzsche. I'm not actively playing him. I'm definitely not playing him at 100 and Sealed. Probably not playing him at whatever his other point value is. And in Constructed, I don't see a reason to run this guy basically ever. This is probably the worst of the Inhumans.
I would agree. I think Triton's terrible. Ooh, you better hope you get a water map, some hypersonic, but he's bad. I really don't think he's good. If you think he's good, hey, good for you, but he's terrible for me.
Yeah. All right, we're coming into the home stretch here. We finally hit the super rares. We got Lady Octopus. She is 50 points. Sinister Syndicate, team ability. And she has a 9 movement with charge, 11 attack, super strength, 17 defense, energy shield deflection, 3 damage, shape change, and she starts with octopus arms. Now you might be, why would you have energy shield deflection on what is obviously a close combat figure? And then the object grants you flurry and giant reach 3. So I believe that's all it grants, right?
Improved movement ignores elevating during frame.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. It was the improved movement.
Yep.
That's the part I was thinking. So when you put that stuff in with her, that she can attack from 3 away with charge, flurry, and you're looking at a 19 defense with shape change. For 50 points, this is the best Doc Ock in the set. You definitely want her, if for no other reason, just for the Ock arms.
For sure. She's amazing. I think she's really good. In Sealed, maybe you'll find someone who's better to put those Ock arms on, but she's really good. Outside of Sealed, obviously, her equipment's going to see way more play than she will Flurry, and, being able to attack so many squares, that is amazing. So I absolutely love her. I think she's great.
Mm-hmm. All right, and next up we have Green Goblin. You can run him at 75 or 50 points. Sinister Syndicate team ability. Dark Avengers, Politician, Sinister Syndicate, and Thunderbolts keywords. I haven't seen Dark Avengers in a while, so that's cool to see. Starts with the Goblin Glider, which grants flight ability, running shot, and if you can use running shot, it gives you hypersonic speed, so that's awesome. And then he has another trait, which is if Green Goblin style displays Outwit, friendly characters with the Sinister Syndicate keyword have protected Outwit. If Green Goblin style displays Perplex, friendly characters with Sinister Syndicate keyword have protected Perplex. He couldn't perplex himself. So there's that. And then he has a stop click on his last click and a special on his damage on his last click, which is free KO Goblin Glider equipped to Green Goblin. If you do, modify attack +3, which would get him up to a 12, and make a ranged attack targeting a single opposing character that deals 3 penetrating damage instead of normal damage. If he misses, KO Green Goblin. Starts off at 75 points with an 8 movement with sidestep, 11 attack, precision strike, 17 defense, invulnerability, 3 damage with leadership, has indom, but like we said with the Goblin Glider, he has running shot, which is in flight.
He has hypersonic speed since he is named Green Goblin. That's
does he?
Some people have forgotten about the Goblin Glider. So yeah, it gives anyone named Green Goblin hypersonic speed.
Ooh.
So don't forget that, guys. I saw some people not using it in Sealed and whatnot. So I think he's awesome. He's also super thematic. If you're like me and you know Green Goblin from the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies, he is hilariously thematic. So I really like this Green Goblin. I think his equipment is awesome. I think he's great in Sealed, and it's hilarious. The whole Impaled by the Goblin Glider, it's funny. It's hilarious. I love it.
Yeah,
I really do.
Yeah, I think he's good in Sealed, and like we've been saying in Constructed, you're more likely to see the Goblin Glider than Green Goblin. But I mean, he's not terrible. So next up, we have Venom. He's number 51 in the set, 75 points or 50 points, depending on what you want to run. Has improved movement, ignores elevated and hindering, starts the game with a symbiote, which gives him shape change, plasticity, and auto breakaway, which is phenomenal. It's only 4 points. For 4 points, you get those powers. And then he has, but on him, it's free. Then he has a call and help from the Venomverse trait, which is once per turn for all characters with this trait. When Venom hits an opposing character, after resolutions, you may roll a d6, 3 through 6, place another character whose name includes Venom adjacent to Venom. This is important, basically in Sealed for all the chases, but there's some other things you could do with it in Constructed. And then he has the Sinister Syndicate United trait. I like him better at 50 than 75 because you don't lose anything stats-wise. It's still a 9 movement with charge, 10 attack, blades, 17 defense, super senses, 3 damage with exploit weakness. He's not bad. Like the shape change and super senses gives him a lot of survivability, but his 4-point symbiote is bonkers.
His equipment is dumb. That is going to see a ton of play.
Yeah,
I like this Venom. I think he could be better. Like the whole 10 of 10. And it's rough. This is, once again, where it'd be very helpful to get that whole Sinister Six, get all 6 people on your force. And it's going to hurt when one of them dies because Venom's got really mediocre attack values. Now, he can always do 3 damage on every click, which is nice. But I would honestly use that Perplex to bump up that attack. Yeah. He's pretty solid tie-up. Say I pay 50 points for tie-up. You know, shape change percent is awesome. I'm not trying to downplay all that. I'm just saying he has really mediocre stats. So, you know, for a tie-up piece, you definitely want to play him as more, you know, cost-effective, cheaper route.
Yeah, I'd agree. All right, up next, we're going to have somebody that Calder's going to be super excited about is Captain America Resilient. 80 points, and really the only thing you need to know about this is that he gives +1 plot point to himself and free other friendly characters move 1 square. So the Mighty Thor set Hulk says hi from his Fast Forces pack. Yep. That's really the only thing you need him for. It's 80 points for that, which is good. Deal. Give it to me.
I think he's got a little more going for him than that. Like, if you know, I could talk about this Captain America all day. You know, in Sealed, you don't have that Hulk, but you can carry him all the way up, and he can, you know, he also has free move up to 1 square, then make a close attack. He also has like a 12 attack, running shot, 3 damage. You know, so that's like a 12-4 since he's got Perplex. He's got 18 defend, kind of helping out. Okay, he takes some damage. He still has. By the way, he can make an attack. He's moving an attack technically his whole dial because he has that whole free move 1 square, make a close attack. Like it's dumb. I can literally rant all day. He's really good. If you pull him, I'm jealous of you. Play him. Why aren't you playing him? Seriously, you're making me sad if you're not playing him on your team. He's going to see. I know for me at least, competitive play. He's going to see casual play. I think he's just an amazingly rounded off character. I think he's great for 80 points. And I think he makes other title characters wish they were him. But that's just me. We can make an entire video. I could literally take over James's YouTube channel right now and just talk about Captain America Resilient on every single click, and I would make 5-minute videos about it. So I won't say too much, but it's a big thumbs up from me.
Yeah, this guy's got all of his pluses are good. His -3 is good, really good. And the 80 points is a reasonable thing. Plus you get the 18 defend, plus you get a perplex, plus he has Indom, plus he has a very usable Avengers and Earth X keyword. I already have a team set up for meta play to try him with that Calder has seen. It should be a little bit silly. And I'm sure other people are going to figure out way more heinous things than me to do with. All right, next up we have Spider-Woman, the Prime. HC Realms does not have the non-Prime version. She's the super rare Prime, 80 points, Mystics and Spider-Man family keyword. You got a whole host of powers on her dial, and the reason for that is her trait, which is free. Choose a standard power printed on this card that Spider-Woman can't use currently. She can use that power until your next turn. So it's sort of a pseudo pick a power. I wouldn't mind having this figure, but she maxes out at a 10 attack, and if I pulled it from a brick, that means it costed me my Prime and a super rare, generally. Yeah. So I wouldn't be super stoked to pull this. What are your feelings about it? I feel like 80 points for a 10 attack is a lot. Even
it's okay, so she's not as good as the last 80-point character we just talked about. Just saying. Just saying. In Constructed, you have a chance. You know, you can throw exo specs on her. You can put a lot of perplex on the team. You can really try to make her work. I think there's probably a way someone's going to figure out who's better at the game than I am to really break her and make her just insane. You know, the people, they normally do that. So maybe in Constructed, she's got some crazy. I mean, she's a pick a power piece, right? But her inconsistency on her dial is really going to hurt. You have to choose. Oh, do I want to be more defensive? Do I want to be more offensive? It really hurts. So you have to build really around her, you know? So in Sealed, I think people off. So, and obviously it's a super rare Prime. You're going to want to play it. Like, that's just like human instinct. Well, I pulled something really expensive. I better throw this on my team, you know? So you're probably going to play it anyways, regardless of what I say. So hopefully you have good luck with her. Just her mediocre attack values are just such a huge bummer for me.
Yeah. All right, up next we're going to talk about Daredevil. 60 points for basically somebody that you got to roll a 6 against 3 different times. He doesn't die. When you would KO him, he doesn't get KO'd. You just turn him to a different starting line. So if you equip him with something, he doesn't lose it. He just goes to the next thing. This guy's crazy, especially when you put him with a Mr. Mixel-Plick or something that would replace rather than make them re-roll their 6 so that he gets to keep his 6 token. This guy is cray-cray. All of his clicks are useful. They all start with a 17 defense with willpower on the first defensive click, and on the second damage click, they all have a 2 damage with Perplex. This guy's just a crazy don't die figure, and he's really good at it. What do you think about this?
He's dumb. He's like so dumb. This is another one of those characters that you're gonna see play. They're gonna see play everywhere. Okay, yeah. Just literally everywhere. In sealed, I can't stress this enough. If you pull him, play him. I played against the guy. I saw him open that Daredevil. He was sitting right next to me, and I was like, "Oh wow, good job, man." And then I played him later that night, and he had a if you want to play whatever you want, that's always good. He had a Sinister Syndicate theme team, and I'm like, dude, if you would have played that Daredevil, I probably would have lost this game. But so like this Daredevil's so good. Pull him, play him. I can't stress that enough. Start him off on hypersonic, move him to whatever. But seriously, this Daredevil's dumb, and he's really cool. Like, I mean, just wow. I love his sculpt is awesome. He's a cool character in the books. This Daredevil, he hits so many things for me. I think he's awesome.
Yeah, he's good, and at no point is he not able to crack a reducer because you're always able to get him up to 3 damage.
Yep.
He's just flat out good. Next up is Hulk, 150 points. Really, the only reason I want to talk about him is because it's just a Wizkids ruling today, where if you don't hit both characters with Pulse Wave, then he doesn't get the Soul Token, which is important later on in the game. So he's got, at the beginning of the game, generate a Bruce bystander. As long as Bruce is on the map when Hulk would be given an action token, you may instead give Hulk a Soul Token and don't clear his action tokens that turn. When Bruce is KO'd after resolution, remove all of Hulk's Soul Tokens and deal him 2 unavoidable damage for each token. Then he has another trait, which is Battle Fury. If Hulk had 1 or more Soul Tokens, he has protected Outwit. If he has 3 or more, he has protected Penetrating Psychic Blast and Exploit Weakness. So he doesn't get Soul Tokens for the Pulse Wave, which is important to note. Other than that, I saw somebody basically rage quit in a game because he got protected Outwit, and the Bruce gives him a Perplex to get him up to basically a 19 defense. In Sealed, I like him just because of that, but in Constructed, I'm not paying 150 points for this.
In Sealed, yeah, Battle Royale especially. Just do it, man. Like, just do it, Shot is awesome. He's great. He's fun to play. You can probably take a shot every time I say awesome. But seriously, I really like this. Also, almost pretty much one-shot him with that Dr. Octopus we talked about earlier, the rare one. Even then, you got to keep him safe. But he can one-shot a lot of figures. He can do a lot of good work. Don't be just giving Bruce all sorts of tokens and carrying Bruce up with you, all right? Maybe, Perplex is nice. Perplex is really nice, but this guy's got a 12-5, 18 defense top dial. Let's maybe back a little bit.
Right.
Keep it safe. You gotta play this. That's the way to go.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, this guy has Battle Fury his entire dial, and there's a lot of shape change in this set, so gets around that. Boop, boop, boop. Alright, next up we have Iron Man, 125 points. Doesn't look like much when you look at him, but don't worry, this guy is worth talking about. Has the Avengers, Scientist, Robot, Stark Industry, Earth X, and Armor keywords. Has a trait, which is Iron Avengers. The bystanders printed on this card are Iron Avengers. At the beginning of the game, generate 2 different Iron Avengers. When an Iron Avenger is KO'd after resolution, roll d6, 1 or 2, deal Iron Man 1 unavoidable damage. There was another ruling handed down today where you get to choose, if you play him with the Iron Man map, you get to choose if that or the map resolves first. So obviously you're choosing that trait to get your 2 freebies and then generating your free Iron Avengers after that. Then he has a special on his attack, which is power generate an Iron Avenger that isn't already on the map. Then he has a special on his defense, which is stop, invincible. This game, Iron Man can't be healed above this click. And a special on his damage, which is Iron Manner, colossal damage. When Iron Man hits the highest point opposing character on the map after resolution, generate an Iron Avenger that isn't already on the map, protected outwit. So he has a 0 movement, 0 attack, 18 defense with barrier and indomitability, 0 damage on his first 2 clicks. Then on his stop click, he has a 10 movement with running shot, 11 attack, 18 defense with that special, 4 damage with that special. Then he ends up with running shot, pulse wave later. This guy for 125 is awesome. I think he is just barely dipping his toe into the meta. I think a lot of people are going to try to use him. I at least know I'm going to try to. Just because those Iron Avengers are really good.
You know, I 100% in constructed. You gotta buy the starter set. If you have this guy, go out, pay your 25 whatever bucks for that starter set. That map is a must play with this Iron Man. Okay. Yeah. Also in sealed, it's that's a fight on site. Seriously. Keep him back if you want. Keep him in the front if you want. If you want him to get hit onto that, you want to start boom, boom, shooting like crazy, do it. Like, there's so many different ways to play this Iron Man. You can play it safe. You got 3 amazing attack, 2, and then, pop out 1 for sure.
Yeah.
He has barrier. He's a 7-range barrier. I've used his barrier before to keep me safe for a turn. Like, I won an event pretty much this Iron Man carrying the chair, so I think this Iron Man is awesome. Seriously.
Yeah.
And like I said, but really, this character is really, really play him in sealed. It's simple.
Yeah.
Simple math.
Yeah. Let me see here. All right, next up we have X51 in the set. He's number 57, so only a couple more figures to cover. I don't really know too much about him. The only thing cool about him is that he has a stop click on click 4 where he gains the Power Cosmic Team ability, 8 range, Perplex, Outwit, Probability Control, 12 attack with energy or with Psychic Blast, and before that basically he's a support figure. Has Cosmic and Robot are his best keywords, but he does have Herald, so I was excited to see that. Overall, I think this is a cool guy to play in sealed just because he has that stop click. But in constructed, I mean, maybe you could run him to sort of have like a dual thing going on with Unimind, but that's about it. I don't see nobody's going to seriously run him in constructed, I think.
I don't see him playing competitive. Even in sealed, it's kind of tough because he has range. He's not going to be able to carry anybody with his phasing. He has some top dials.
Yeah.
Port, so like most people will leave him for last, then take him out in 1 or 2 shots, or well, actually it's got to be 2 or 3 shots really, because that stop click. And he's tough. He's tough to use, even when he gets that cool stop click. Hopefully you were close enough because he only has 6 movement with stealth, and he doesn't have flight or anything.
Yeah, no move and attack really hurts.
Really rough. Like. No movement attack, no flight, none of that stuff. Like it's kind of rough to use. And like I love Machine Man, Aaron Stack. He's my bro. It's just really hard to use. Like it's difficult for him to be useful. And I don't know how many characters have Power Cosmic in this set. I don't think any. Maybe one. I don't think. Out of the ones we've talked about, I don't think any. Right?
Madam Hydra.
Yeah, just him. So.
Madam Hydra.
Oh, Madam Hydra.
Yeah.
A counter to a really open tier. Like, as much as it pains me to say this, Machine Man is X51's just not that good.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but it's true.
Yeah. Are we just going to agree that Loki at both point values isn't very good in constructed or in constructed and in sealed? He's fun. Like, I have run him, but he's not really that great. It's like Clea. If you pull him with Clea, play them both, but otherwise leave them there.
It's a I sadly, yeah, James.
Wait, okay, you're gonna have to do that whole thing again. It was breaking up a little bit. You there still?
Sorry. Nah.
Pass. Okay. We're going to skip over Gorgon. He's good, but actually I like Ox a lot better for 25 points.
No, I'm still here.
Okay.
Yeah, pass.
Yeah, we're going to skip over Gorgon. Medusa, though. And then we're just going to talk about one of the chases, I think.
Sure. See you. Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah.
All right. So up next we got number 60.
Medusa, a lot of utility. Keep that close.
Okay, are you still there? Uh-oh.
Yeah, no, I'm still here.
All right. So, all right, I'm going to start talking about Medusa. Don't worry, I'm going to get all this stuff edited out. It'll just take me a little bit. Whenever I switch characters, my computer, tries to make you get, all glitchy.
Okay.
But, anyway, all right, so next up we got Medusa, number 60 in the set, 75 points. Terragenesis twice, which is good. Then she has another trait, which is Plasticity, Giant Reach 3, TK as free, but replace all 6s with 3. Then she has a free Improved Movement, ignores characters, Elevated Terrain, Hindering Terrain, Blocking Terrain, Passenger 2, but only to carry characters that share a keyword regardless of wing symbol up to 3 squares. So I really like her a lot just as a mobility piece because she can move 3 with 2 friendly characters, and then she can free TK herself for another 3, and then attack with Giant Reach 3. So she's got a 9 square swing with that Quake that she has top dial, 3 damage leadership, triple target. I like her in sealed and in constructed. She's not going to see any competitive play, but if you're running Inhumans, I feel like you should probably be using her. Her and Karnak, I think, are the most useful pieces for support, and then Black Bolt's your heavy hitter.
Yeah. For sure. Bummer, especially with all the other great supers in the set. But she's a great utility piece. Hopefully you can get a lot of use out of her. I know I definitely have before. So, is relatively cheap for her points, and you'll be able to fill out the rest with hopefully some really good attackers.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right. Alright, and since this video feels like it's been going on forever, we're only going to talk about one chase because there's only one chase really worth talking about, and that's Captain Venom. 75 points, has the Avengers, Monster, and Soldier keywords, has a 9 movement with charge, 11 attack with Quake, 18 defense with combat reflexes, Indom, 3 damage with a special. He has Alien Symbiote, which is Plasticity, Shape Change, Auto Breakaway, Call Him from the Venomverse, which we've already covered, and then his trait, which is the thing you want, which is during game setup, when establishing theme team, you may treat monster keyword as a named keyword. I can think of a few competitive players who are really excited about that. And then his special on his damage is leadership. When another friendly character with monster keyword attacks, modify attack +1 if Cap Venom attacked this turn. So Wales got just a little bit better with this guy. I think
a little bit better.
Yeah, this guy's going to see a ton of constructed play. And if you pull him in sealed, his sculpt's just sick. So make everybody else jealous and play him.
If you pull him, you're very lucky because you just made a good job for you. If you pull him, keep me in mind. I still need one, but this Captain America, this Captain Venom is amazing. Pull him and play him is a little bit rough because he's really good tie up and sealed. And I don't want to say anything negative about him. It's going to be tough. He has no stealth to really do. You got to get him adjacent to someone as fast as possible. A ton of monster in this. Maybe there's more than I think. I could do a little bit of scrolling. All right, there's a good chunk of monsters. Some of the Syndicate help fill out monster a little bit. So if you pull monsters in this, I think he's awesome. But most amount of play in there. Just going to, but also monster keyword, and it doesn't have to be broken if you don't want it to be. If you want to play him with some zombies, you want to play him with like skeletons or vampires, whatever. He's also great for casual, which is awesome because if you like playing monsters, skeletons, werewolves, let's make it a theme. So he doesn't have to be competitive if you don't want him to be. So no one's gonna scorn you for playing Captain Venom at your casual night. Okay, I think he's one of the most well-rounded characters I've seen in a really long time, and that's not just because I'm biased. Right? It's because it's true.
I would agree. He's somebody where you don't have to maximize him. You could still play him and have fun. But yeah, okay. So that's all the figures we're gonna review for this set. The other chases are okay, but not great. I suppose this is the time to shamelessly plug that I am potentially giving away a Cap Venom on Patreon. If I hit $120 before March 1st, I'm giving away a Cap Venom and a Venom Prime. So stop on over at patreon.com/MrClicksFlix for more details on that. It's little as $1 a month, and there's a ton of other cool perks and things that you could get there depending on what you would like to pledge per month. We would like to take this time to thank Mr. Calder Ness for helping us out again with some more Heroclix stuff. And just one more time, tell everybody where to find you if they made it through what looks like it's going to be a 2-hour video.
2 hours. So besides the podcast, pretty Calder Ness, I'm with Dial H for Heroclix. We're a podcast. We are on iTunes. We are on Podbean. We're going to work on getting on all sorts of other places. But if you like casual and competitive talk, if you like two guys that make you feel like you're in the room with them, joshing around, having fun, then it's the podcast for you. We love the game. We don't try to be too negative. We don't, talk down other people. We just have a good time. So check us out on Twitter. Go to Podbean if you want to listen to it on your computer. You can download it too if you want to listen to it on your drive. We also have a Patreon like Jamie does. So if you want to give us a buck or two that way, that's also it really helps making the podcast. It's a real community-oriented podcast. And if you want to join the Dial H community, then I'll welcome you with open arms, man. So check us out for Heroclix.
All right, awesome. All right, guys, well, thank you for joining us today. That's all we have. As always, please remember that it's only critical miss if you don't have probability control.